check in. Live. We live, we live, we live. Yo, 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 we all the way live, man. Stay Dangerous Podcast. We back in it for another one.
You
Um,
did, man.
and y'all see what the title is. We're gonna discuss this case, this Breonna Taylor's case. May she rest in peace, man. Y'all check out this intro while we share this link. And while we sharing the link, y'all make sure y'all share the link. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, and share us to Stay Dangerous Podcast.
You feel me? Show some love, you heard me? Just giving y'all that, you know what I'm saying, that hot fire every Sunday, you dig? Somebody gotta keep us on game and that right cover.
But Shigado.
All I do is stay dangerous. Yeah, niggas know I'm dangerous. Man, this world made me dangerous.
Man, what's going on, bro? I don't get it myself, bro. Well, I get it, but it's almost like it's to the point now to where I still see a lot of people that's still on the, oh man, it ain't what it looks like. This is what it is. Actually,
Man.
it's not.
Charles Barkley with the L of the week.
Yeah.
Ignorant fool.
Oh man, too many of us black people becoming a donkey of the day. Shout out to Charlamagne. Trying to take up for these type of situations. When you, by now, you know what's going on.
Exactly.
This is ridiculous. Come on, man. It's 2020, man. We've been dealing with this heavy on a public level like this since 2012 with the death of Trayvon Martin. And people still come out here with their head in the clouds like this is some, you know, it's just an anomaly. It only happens here and there. It's just sometimes thing.
Man, I think it's easier to stay asleep than opening your eyes. That's for sure.
Wow. Tell you. Mm.
Man, so let's jump into it, man. First of all, I want y'all to I want y'all to be completely aware of what's going on, and we bringing y'all the information as much as we can get because we've been following it, but at the same time, we both work every day. Y'all see I be streaming my beats and everything, so we got a lot of stuff going on. So, hey, I'm gonna put this out there. We need some researchers on the squad. If y'all down with the squad, y'all trying to see this grow, we need some researchers so we can, tap into the information a whole lot better, and we can give y'all better information, better access. So, with that being said, before we start the podcast, man, I'm gonna do a little. We're gonna do a little moment of silence for Breonna Taylor, man. I'm gonna post this picture up, bro, and then after that we're gonna get into it. So, moment of silence for Breonna Taylor. All right, y'all. So, let's keep it all the way funky, man. Let's keep it all the way funky. I'm gonna drop the link in the for the chat too. In a little minute, so we can get other people's opinion on what's going on, cause I wanna know and hear what y'all opinions are and what y'all thoughts are on it, cause it's not only affecting us, man. It's affecting everybody, and everybody has something they can say or put in on this to enlighten and bring it full circle. Because we've been in this predicament for far too long, man. It's been happening for far too long, far too often. Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. Man, we can sit here and name people all day, and that shouldn't happen. not only for black people but for white folks as well too, and Hispanics. So it's something that's been going on in this country, and we seem to be the only country in the entire world that's being affected by it. About people being killed by the police and police not being charged or held accountable for their actions. I want to start by saying is getting your gun license is one thing, but if I go into a store and I just randomly shoot something or shoot somebody, perfect example, if I'm in a shootout with somebody and an innocent bystander get hit, I still get charged with the death of that innocent bystander, right? So we are taught to carry a certain way. We're supposed to be held to a higher standard once we have our gun license, so on and so forth. But it seems to me that the police officers are not being held to any type of standard, that they can just go in and, I don't know, murder people, gun down people in any way, shape, form, or fashion, and get away with it being tapped on the wrist. I don't think that's fair, because even as a correction officer, when I was a correction officer, and we took an inmate to the like the hospitals and stuff, we take them out on transport. As an officer, if you fire that gun and you don't hit that inmate and you strike somebody else, you're charged with it. So as a CO, how are you being charged with it, but not an officer? I guess the devil's in the details, but I don't get that. That don't compute none whatsoever. You know what I mean? I don't know, bro. You got anything before we start dropping more information, man? Cause we finna drop this information. We're gonna do it fast as we possibly can, and so we can get into a discussion behind everything. I need to share with one more person.
You know, the police supposed to stand for protect and serve.
Mm-hmm.
And in many of these cases, does it seem like they're protecting us? No.
Not at all.
Are they serving us? No. Matter of fact, yeah, they serving us death certificates for minor crimes, death certificates for loopholes that gives people the right to enter into someone's home unannounced, even though they have one witness out of basically all the witnesses say that they heard them, but supposedly 24 other witnesses didn't hear them.
Mm-hmm.
But this one person heard them, so it was okay that supposedly they announced themselves, but apparently Breonna and her boyfriend didn't announce themselves, so they gave themselves permission to enter the house.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you serving black people, especially, death certificates for minor infractions, and you overstepping your bounds as an authority figure. You're under the guise of authority. What are you doing? Texas, a no-knock warrant?
Yeah.
What
Kentucky.
are the odds that somebody assumes this person is a intruder and they start teeing off on them?
Hey, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna do the same.
The same thing.
I don't know what other people are talking about. Whether you, boy, I always tell my people, hey man, call me before you pull up. Don't pull up on me. We don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? You come from a day and a time where it's that's an on-site offense, as we say in our neck of the woods. what you got going on? But I mean, I'm gonna pull up this article, man, and y'all know we we don't deal with the masses, but it's a CNN article. Is this it? Yeah. And I'm just going over the timeline. I'm not gonna read it word for word, but I am gonna play the 911 call for a second of Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, which it's crazy. Anyway, the article start off by saying they got the search warrant on the 12th for Breonna Taylor's ex-boyfriend.
Right.
Okay, say he's a convicted felon. Y'all know how they do. Anyway, talking about he was supplying a local drug house. All right, so it said hours later, in the early mornings on March 13th, officers arrived at the Taylor's apartment, began pounding on the door, and an officer told investigator later. Yeah, whatever. So, it said Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker III, who said he heard banging on the door just after midnight. Again, after midnight, y'all please note that. Concerned there might be trouble, He grabbed his gun, and then he yelled out, "Who is it?" Didn't get no response. Next thing that came down was the battering ram. That's what he heard. Fired a shot through the wall, I'm assuming, and it hit one of the officers in the leg. The officers returned fire. 22 shots. I read on one article, they said 22 shots. So for one shot, they returned 22 shots. Okay, and then after the door got hold up. Walker was unharmed, but Breonna Taylor got shot. She died on the scene, as y'all know. So I'm gonna play the 911 call because the 911 call is very, very, very important, and it's to me it's the key to it all. But I'm gonna play the 911 call. Y'all give me a second, make sure my co-host can hear it. All right, here's the 911 call.
911, Operator Harris, where's your emergency?
I don't know what's happening. Somebody kicked in the door and shot my girlfriend.
Okay, where are you located?
I'm at 3003 Springfield Drive, apartment 4.
3003 Springfield Drive, apartment number 4?
Yes. Oh, my God.
Okay, how old is your girlfriend?
She's 26. Bring it. Oh my
You said 26,
God.
where was she shot at?
I don't know. She's on the grill right now. I don't know.
Okay.
Mama.
You said she's 26, is she alert and able to talk to you?
No, she's not. Breathe. God.
Okay, and you said you're in apartment number 4?
Hell. Oh my God. Yes, hell.
What's your name, sir?
Oh, my name is Kenneth Walker.
You said Kenneth?
Hell.
And you said she's 26?
Yes.
Okay, you said 3003 Springfield Drive, apartment number 4?
Yes.
Okay. Can you check and see where she's been shot at?
I can't get on that stomach.
Okay. Is she alert and able to talk to you?
No, breathe.
Okay.
I think oh my God. Oh my God.
Can you get her turned over on her back? I need for you to check her and see where she shot at.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I gotta go, Mama.
Okay.
I gotta go you back.
Kenneth, can you hear me?
All right, man, that's good.
All right, so that was them trying to call it back or whatever, man. I really didn't want to play the whole thing, but I thought y'all needed to hear it in context, man, because the shit kind of get to me. So the also I think it was the other article that came out. All right, it's also important to note that when this case first happened over 6 months ago, that the people said, the police officer said that there was no video evidence of what was going on at that time. Recently, we just found out that it is a body camera. Now, I haven't watched the video. I hadn't really been able to find it, but there is a body camera footage of something. So, where are the police now during the call? At that time, I don't even think the police even came back there to see who it was. Then they also said, I read an article that says that the ballistics from Breonna Taylor's boyfriend gun doesn't match the bullet that went through the officer's leg.
Wow. So it sounds like what the military likes to call friendly fire.
Man. So they said that they also said that no police officers were issued a 9mm handgun, which also came back to be a lie because one of the officers that was actually there, guess what they issued him? 9mm handgun. So the police officers used 40, and he was the only police officer to have a 9mm handgun. So, those are the details, right? As they say, the devil's in the details. Those are the details ran down in the basic gist of things. If y'all they was outside trying to get the story right because another officer shot himself. More than likely, that probably what happened, to be honest. Or they sent off a shot thinking, oh, and another fact that I left out as well. I can't find an article on it. I would show it to y'all, but please research it, man. Make sure I'm correct. But at the time of the warrant being issued, the guy that they was looking for was already in police custody. I'm going to say that one more time.
Say one more time for him, brother.
When the warrant got served, or the warrant got signed off on, the guy that they was looking for, Breonna Taylor's ex-boyfriend, or however they want to say it, he was already in the county. Already locked up behind bars. So y'all serving a warrant, and y'all don't even know what the heck y'all serving the warrant for. This can play off on so many different levels, and man, I don't even know where to start, bro, at all with this, because it's a disappointment in itself. Okay, Mr. Ward said it's true. So, hey, appreciate that, Mr. Ward.
Yeah. And another truth to the scenario, those officers recently, I believe on the 25th or the 24th, they didn't get charged with the murder or the death. You know, we could say death, for legal means. Well, alleged murder, let me say that. They didn't get charged for her death. And what's even worse, they actually got charged.
With what?
For what? For what? You may ask. Something they call the wanton endangerment charge. Let me read out the definition of that for y'all real quick, just to give y'all an understanding of what the wanton endangerment charge is. So the wanton endangerment in the first degree, a person is guilty of wanton endangerment in the first degree when, under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference to the value of human life, he wantonly, which comes to the name wanton, engages in conduct which creates a substantial danger of death or serious or physical injury. So basically, if you go into a house or an apartment and you just start teeing off and you got bullets flying everywhere, the walls are thin in apartments, that 9 times out of 10, because of the caliber of weapon you are using to engage these people that you're supposedly trying to indict, if you're shooting in their home and they have neighbors, then there is a chance you may hit said neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
You may hit a man. You may hit a woman, pregnant woman, a child. So you getting charged with wanton endangerment. And guess what? The sentencing for that is up to 5 years and a $15,000 fine.
What?
At this point in time, man, and I hate to be so emotional over this situation because, as black men, we have to stand firm, uncompromised, and completely overstand into the situations that are brought against us. But at the same time, man.
Hey, Mr. Ward, explain that a little bit better.
What is it?
He said what you just described is what happened to Breonna, Smurf.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It is, but at the same time, like, the bullets went through her before it went through the wall.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's.
I mean, but at the same time, it's like, okay, the intended target supposedly was in their home, was in her home, which he wasn't. He was already in custody, incarcerated. So now, apparently, the people in the inside, they didn't hear you. But once they feel threatened because you're trying to ram through the door, they can feel like you entered their home, and now they can let off shots and feel their life. This is a stand your ground state. This is what people don't realize. This is an open carry state.
Yeah.
Just like Stephen A. Smith explained on ESPN. It's open carry, it's stand your ground. So they had every right to engage those officers with force because they felt threatened. And the fact that you went in, your intended target wasn't there. Clearly, there's documentation to prove that your intended target wasn't there. And you end up shooting whoever's in the house and letting bullets fly through other people's homes. You should be charged with not only the wanton endangerment, but you should be charged with the murder of Breonna Taylor. Like you said earlier, police should be held to a high standard because as a CEO, if you would have committed a crime similar to that, you would have damn near got life.
Ain't no CEO to correct you, but ain't no damn near you would have. It was told to us from the beginning of training. Period. There's no, and because I was working for CCA, which is a private facility, the state ain't gonna have your back
at all. So why does the state always seem to have these officers back when it comes to killing us all indiscriminately? That's what people are outraged about.
Yeah.
How the hell you hold every other job to the highest standard imaginable when it comes to, being productive and, what I'm saying, being manageable. But when it comes to officers, they can just kill somebody and, man, I'm sorry, it happens. This ain't like you forgot to take out the trash at a restaurant, man.
Yeah, exactly. My thing too is this. Going into an apartment building, if you're executing a search warrant, regardless of, we're gonna get to the no-knock thing too, but if you're executing, and if it was a no-knock warrant, why the heck was the officers knocking? That's all I'm gonna say. But so let's just say if the officers was knocking, they knocked the door down with the battering ram. Okay, why not flashbang? Because a SWAT team or some type of tactical team would have to carry out the order for the search warrant. There's not just regular police officers, you know what I'm saying? So if the SWAT team goes in there, why aren't y'all using flashbangs? Why aren't y'all using gas? Because I done been pepper sprayed, and they got some other spray in the in CCA, bro. It's in a canister like this, that big, and when you throw it in the room, it pulls the air out the room and releases pepper spray at the same time. There's nothing you can do. You're gonna collapse, bro. There's nothing you can do. The moment it's over with, bro. Ain't no holding your breath or none of that. Once you inhale, it's over with, bro. And you can't, like, it's so many ways you can use non-lethal force in there if that's what y'all was doing, but it don't seem like that's what y'all was doing. And yeah, cause he was already locked up. Yeah, my stepdad said Top Cop. That stuff's strong. You can buy that out the store in Top Cop. I guarantee you can't, once it hits you, and what they did was level 1, so they'll spray it across the top of your eyes when you become a CO. They spray it up here, or like right in here, and let it drip into your eyes and tell you to blink 2 or 3 times. Right. I'm 6'3", 280. I'm not ashamed to say it. I've seen people fall, ball up like babies to that stuff. You know what I mean? So, like, why wouldn't you? What I'm getting to is, why wouldn't it be a soft entry? And then if he did fire, if it was a soft entry and you'd have threw that gas in there, he wouldn't have been able to shoot back anyway. You know what I mean? Or even if it was a flashbang, he wouldn't have been able to see the shoot back. Or if he would have shot back, Like, come on, man. It's too many scenarios where y'all could have changed, where they could have changed that and had the upper hand regardless. I'm pretty sure it's windows to the apartment, so you can broke the glass and throw the gas in there, especially if you know it was a bedroom. And 9 times out of 10, when it's an apartment, I hate to say it, but bedrooms are pretty much on the front side, so you entering through the front side. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's wild.
Like, come on, man. You guys are professionals, man. You talk to apprehend suspects. Like, how many engagements have we seen with them and, white guys fighting tooth and nail? Not a gun got pulled. Half the time, the taser don't get pulled. Shit, I don't even remember the last case I saw with pepper spray. You feel me?
Hey, and it's mandatory that they carry it on. They have pepper spray and they have tasers. In the George Floyd case, if y'all felt like he was being threatened, y'all could have tased him, but he was already on the ground. So that takes away the threat right there. And for men, if men don't know, when your hands are tied behind your back, the center of gravity is in your chest. So the moment they got him down, there's no way he can get up without using his hands. The threat is already, you know what I'm saying, been done. But in Breonna Taylor's case, what we talking about today, and I don't want us to get, it's so many of us getting murdered and killed by crazy stuff, man, between police and other fellow people, whatever you want to say, that we can't lose these names, man, especially in our cases, because now it's kind of getting close to home, especially with Ahmaud Arbery. That's a little too close for comfort, to be honest.
And the main thing about it, man, the loophole is the legality behind it.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that, Mr. Ward. All right, so Mr. Ward said he had not been seen back at the property in months and only did surveillance one time. Y'all do one. How you get a warrant for one-time surveillance, yo?
One time.
How, bro? How is that even possible?
That's, a lot of these officers, man, because they have quotas, let's just keep it real. A lot of people may not know this, but sometimes officers do go outside of their normal tactics as far as like giving tickets and getting, trying to finish cases because they have quotas they have to meet. So I'm guessing probably they figured this could be an easy pick for them real quick. Let's go lock this guy up. You know what I'm saying? They were probably bored. They haven't had a case in a while, so they try to, okay, let's bring up one that we feel like it'd be an easy drop. And it went bad.
Okay, so let's even talk about this. So like you said, it was an easy play, right? So if it was an easy play, then that means that they're targeting poverty-stricken communities. So for one, they can't get a lawyer, and for two, they can't get bond, right? So it's an easy case, what they call a slam dunk case. You know what I mean? Like once he in, he ain't going nowhere, whether the charge is fake or not. They had a case a year or two ago over in Alabama where they shut down the whole police precinct because every case that they pretty much had built was built on false charges and
sabotage. There was
evidence and fake evidence and stuff like that.
Yep. And matter of fact, let me read what Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly said about the case and how.
All right, hold on just a second. Read it after this. All right, so my boy Guy B, AT Alien Southside to be exact. He said the same thing happened a few years ago in Atlanta. No knock warrant, wrong house, and they killed the older black lady who shot at them for entering their home. See, that's the crap that I'm talking about. Look at how far that distance is, fam. Atlanta to doggone Kentucky, but the same exact thing happened, the same MO. Why is that even possible? It shouldn't even be plausible. Once it happened one time, it shouldn't have to happen again in another part of the country somewhere else for somebody to say, hey, we need to quit this, we need to stop this. Again, they was at the wrong house. Lady fired. Go ahead with what you were saying, Smurf. What up, Charles?
So I was saying, like, and these guys want to be so delusional about how man, really, we didn't do nothing wrong because we was in the legal confines of that warrant. We was issued it. It's on paper. They say we can do it. So everybody should just be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But when you overemphasize how you feel like what you did was right, that kind of shows a level of guilt, in my opinion.
Indeed.
Like if I'm trying to explain to somebody that, like, for me slapping you in the face or something like that. It wasn't really that, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really wrong for slapping you in the face. I give you this whole explanation on why I slapped you, even though I know I slapped you by accident, but I try to convince you in a very articulate way or overemphasize why it wasn't that big of a deal. It shows a level of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to read what Sergeant John Mantley sent, I guess, to some fellow officers and the Vice News correspondent. He said, I know we did with the legal, he said, I know we did with the legal, moral, and ethical thing that night. Oh, he said, I know we did the legal, moral, and ethical thing that night. We did the legal, moral, and ethical thing?
That's that police talk. They told him to say that. He ain't write that himself. That's a memo given to all police officers to say. Like, all right, so I'm gonna put it in case in point like this, so y'all understand what I'm saying. When you become a CO and you ever have to fire your weapon, or you ever have to go in a cell on somebody, it's a certain way that you write it so you won't be legally held accountable. If you write it this way, if you say it this way, then you straight. But if you go anything outside this box, we don't know what you did.
Yeah, let's not just say, I know we did the legal thing that night.
Exactly.
He said, I know we did the legal, moral, and ethical. No, fuck, you didn't. Exactly. Excuse my French.
Exactly.
There's nothing ethical, there's nothing moral about going into a house, an apartment, unannounced, where they say you announced it, but clearly you ain't hear nobody. Or if you did hear somebody, you didn't answer him to let him know who you was, but decided to enter anyway. Then once they fire at you, because this is a legal carry state, they have to and stand your ground. They have every right. Once they don't know who you are, and you are attempting to invade their space, they have every right to engage you.
Oh my God! Hold up, bro. Hold up. All right, Mr. Ward just posted something. All right, he said they came to my friend's house looking for him and killed his father on a no-knock warrant. My friend did not live with his father for years. They got the old address off his license. The father, who was an Army veteran, thought someone was breaking in at night. How? Hey, Mr. Ward, what did that happen at? Geographically, so to speak. Like, was it Georgia, Florida, like where? That's crazy. That's heartbreaking, bro. I promise you, boy. I ain't gonna say it. Just understand, I got a different mindset when it comes to this. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm not gonna say it. But how is it? So let's just dig into the This is an election year. Closed cases meaning more votes. It's weird that the system is even set up like that, to be honest. Like, when you think about it, but your quota makes you look good. So as if you work, let's just say you work pulling containers, the more containers you pull, the more money you make. So the more they're gonna keep you running. You know what I mean? So I guess in the political system, we also have to look at the more cases that they close and the more people that they indict, then that's their quota, so to speak. Mr. Ward said it happened in Columbus, Georgia, Brockton case. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So, if anybody know, does Georgia still have no-knock warrants? Like, to this day? Knowing Georgia, they probably do, because they the last to adopt anything good, to be honest with you. As far as I've seen, that'll be something for us to really know. I don't know why I didn't think of that before we got on the podcast. But like my boy God B say, man, ethics. They don't have any ethics. They have no type of code of honor or anything like that. So I wonder, and I'm asking y'all to, you know what I'm saying, chime in if you're in the chat. Make sure y'all hitting that thumbs up button, man, so we can get some more viewers in here. Make sure y'all hit that share button. We appreciate the love, man.
Apparently, we do have it.
Yep. Mr. Ward just said it at the same time you said it. God, that's
Yeah.
wild.
Supposedly they have it under investigation right now. They're looking to possibly change it. It's like two bills that does that. They're looking at the change possibly, but they could just be doing that to say, okay, we're trying to make change, and
Oh,
to say we at least looked at it.
he said Vidalia does.
Mm.
That's why this Vidalia election is so important. That's I don't know, man. This one taking a little wind out, man. I usually don't go over topics like this because how emotional I get with certain stuff, man. But it's something we really got to talk about, man. I'll sacrifice a night for that. You know what I mean? I have to talk to my kids about it anyway. So, like, how do we go about changing the law other than just voting? Because, or how do we protect ourselves? Because the only people getting protected right now is the police. They seem to be the only people that can get away with pretty much anything. Whether they flipping birds or whatever, they seem to be the only ones can get away with stuff. Breonna's law changed it in Kentucky, so they don't have it no more in Kentucky. I did see it, but I didn't know if they passed it yet. I appreciate that, Mr. Ward.
What's up?
Yeah, so how do we change that though, man? Because that's.
I mean, we have to,
voting is one thing. You know,
you have to vote, but at the same time, you have to let the candidate that you are voting for know specifically that if you want to get our vote, you want to get our support, this is what we're gonna need you to implement. Not know, I hope you're gonna implement it. You'll think about it. You have to promise us that this policy is what you're going to implement in our city, or else you're not going to get our vote. That's what I mean when I say black people, we don't need a vote. I'm not saying don't vote. I'm saying use the strategy of not voting in order to get policies and laws put into place that can help our communities. We have to think strategically when it comes to the political races. You know what I'm saying?
I think that go cross board too, because it can't just be a black and white thing. So we need to get people facts. Smurf, Mr. Ward said. We need to get not just one or two people. We need hundreds. We need thousands of people to do that. Because that, to me, that's the answer for me. Right? We sit out.
Yeah.
Because if y'all look at it statistically over the years since we've been free in voting. And I'm gonna make sure I find this article. I keep thinking about it every time I hear the word vote. That the first black man that tried to vote in Mount Vernon, Georgia, was hung. I have the article on it. I got to find it. It's laminated.
Hold on. Whoa.
I got it. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it, bro. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna post it. I promise y'all I'm gonna find it.
You said what?
The first black man that ever tried to vote in Mount Vernon, Georgia, was hung, and they had the picture of him on the daggone article on the front of the newspaper, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So yeah. And I can go over more facts about that. About if we ride down the road to what is that, Austin, Georgia, where that train steady sitting up in the middle, they were selling slaves there every Sunday. If you go down to Valdosta, Georgia, I think it's Valdosta, Georgia. One of them towns down there around that area has a tree in the middle of downtown. It's a big oak tree, real huge tree. They used to hang slaves in that square every Sunday, but people go down there to take photos and stuff in under it. You know what I'm saying? Marriage and wedding photos and stuff like that. It's a lot of spots like that around Georgia that is very eerie, I would say, that we don't know what's going on.
Man, I have a friend of mine, man. She was telling me how every week her family, they links up to, check in on each other, see how, everybody doing. And sometimes they go on like little trips to like, I guess their family's land or something like that.
Yeah.
And they gather the kids up around in certain spots and they tell the kids that this is where our ancestors was hung at.
Wow.
Her family knows the exact spot where a few of her ancestors were hung at, and their elders make sure they take them there. I don't know if it's every week or like every reunion or something like that to remind them this is a spot to where, you know, so our people got hung at.
That shit just gave me chills.
Boy, when she told me
Boy.
that, she said it in a way that I was like, you know, she went like you know, she went like kind of shocked at it. 'Cause I guess she been going to her whole life.
Yeah.
But I'm like you, when I heard, I was like, oh my God, dude, what?
Yeah. That's information that we don't get at all. That's information that we don't get, and we have to pass it down to our kids, no matter how harmful it is. But they need to know, they need to understand. I know my granddaddy. I never met him, but I hear stories about him all the time, and the land that he ended up owning and buying and sheltering and stealing my family. He actually ended up killing 2 Klan members on the front land because the house that he bought was a doctor's before him, and they said the white man didn't want him to have that land. Other white men in the town, right? And so, pop 2 of them.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, man. You gotta protect your family, man.
So, like, I mean, if we've been having to fight like this for this many years, man, like, something else has to change. Yes, we got to vote, man, but we have to do this smart, man. We can't do it wrong. I'm finna drop this link in the chat so y'all can come on in, man. If y'all want y'all cameras to be on, let me know, or just look in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen and you can cut the camera on, but please be decent or you will get booted.
You
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's the link. Y'all can join in. Mr. Ward, I'd like to hear your topic on it. I mean, your word on it, man, because I see you've been paying attention to the case as well. So jump in the Zoom chat and we bring y'all in. So when y'all come in, I actually have to see it before y'all come in. I have to see it popped up so I can add y'all in. So it might take a second. So, you know, bear with us. We're gonna get y'all in. But
I'm gonna pause real quick, cuz I'm gonna come right back.
All right. Put something over your cam. Yep. So yeah, man, like strategically we're gonna have to start doing something to change it other than voting. Because voting can't be the only thing. We have to the Legacy Museum in Montgomery, Alabama is a must visit, Smurf. The Legacy Museum. I ain't heard of that. I just found out we had the Gullah Geechee Museum down in Wrightsville. I think that's what Dr. Omari Toure was saying. Hey, Smurf working over in Alabama right now, so that might be something easy for him to I don't know, I think Montgomery a little bit farther from where he working at. But yeah, man, so what's y'all thoughts? What's y'all ideas on how we change this, how we move forward? And then I seen, this is one thing I wanted to touch on too, man. I seen somebody post a post about we can't ask, it pretty much said this, we can't ask for Breonna Taylor's we can't keep asking for justice if her parents accepted the money from the court, right? And it was like 12 M's. So that's retarded to say on so many levels, yo.
What's that?
That I ain't even know she came back. That I wanted to touch on this too. I seen a post going around and a lot of people was sharing it, saying that we can't ask for justice for Breonna Taylor because the parents accepted the $12 million in the civil suit, right? And I'm gonna go hard when I say this, so y'all forgive me if y'all don't understand my point of view. But I'm gonna say this. I told that person in the post that, well, how about this? Let me come pay you some money so I can go kill your daughter and walk away. They said, well, you taking it too far. I said, how? That's what you're saying. They said, well, if they got the money, then what else is there? I said, well, if they got the money, pretty much, then we can't keep forcing. And I was like, bro, but why can't they get the money and they can get justice for their daughter as well? Why can't we have both? You know what I mean? Because they do it in other cases. You know what I mean? So in a case of head-on collision, accidental death, everybody getting paid from the insurance company, right? And
Right.
then you still going to jail for the death.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So why can't we have both? Why can't we have both sides of the coin? It ain't just a one way.
And people got to realize when you see somebody like Crump coming to be the lead lawyer for the case of any of these and situations, because you notice his face and the other guy's face, I forgot his name, other lawyer, when they come around, you notice the cops never get indicted, right? You notice that shit, don't you?
Never ever.
Never ever. Yeah, people get a check, but at the same time, bro, this is your family, bro. No amount of money is worth the blood of your relative. None. You feel me? And the fact that these people got on the stand after this man done set them up to possibly get a little bag so they can come on the stand and act all passive and basically forgiving of these cops that murdered their family member is egregious.
Indeed. Go ahead, Smurf.
You should not settle for anything like that, man. Money comes and goes. Your family members are forever. You want to protect your family. You want to protect your bloodline, man. Never. You know what? As soon as you see somebody like Crump come to lawyer for any one of these cases, everybody should just say, "Oh shit." You feel what I'm saying? That's what should run through your mind when you see Crump come on one of these cases. This is what I'm telling you, cuz.
Yeah.
If us as a black people see somebody like Crump come into a case to be the lawyer for any one of these indictments, the first thing we should think is, "Oh shit."
Sad to say,
man.
but it's true, man. Sad to say, but it's very, very true.
It's true. You know what I'm saying? These guys are not real prosecutors. These guys are civil suit lawyers. They're coming for the check. They go in these little private meetings with the families. They talk to them and be like, "Hey, yo, I'm sorry about the death of your family member, but this is what we can do. We can make sure your family will be highly compensated for the death of your family member, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, we don't want to tarnish the record of these officers, because you know, for every bad apple, you know, there's plenty of good ones that protect and serve our communities, and we don't need any more riots or protests to occur in these cities. So you can just go up there and, you know what I'm saying, you know, God will want you to forgive these officers, you know what I'm saying, give them a level of mercy and forgiveness so we can, you know what I'm saying, you know, make sure you are highly compensated for the death of your family member, and everybody can get out of this situation in a beautiful fashion, I'm guessing. And what people don't realize, the money still gets taxed. The police department still gets a percentage of the money.
Indeed.
The lawyer damn near gets 40%, the 33% of the purse of the $12 million that they just got that settlement for. That's what people don't understand. It's a business. But don't leverage the blood of your family for that, man. You can't do that, man. It's crazy. We got to wake up.
We finna bring God be in real quick. What it
Going
do,
on,
partner?
Brother?
What up, Smurf? What up, 912? What y'all got going on, man?
Chilling, man. Talk about the whole Breonna Taylor situation, man. It's crazy what's going on, brother.
Yeah, it's real ugly, man. But it's been going on for a long time, man. Like, this is a real issue. Like, what y'all was just talking about, you know, her getting the money, her family getting the money, and, you know what I'm saying, justice. You know what I'm saying? We should have both. You know what I'm saying? Because number one, we as a people got to have, I feel like we as a people had a right to demand justice as a people. You know what I'm saying? Just so that the example is set so these things don't happen again. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they definitely need compensation for her life. You know what I'm saying? Because like in like old tradition, like it's called blood money, blood wit. When you kill somebody unlawfully, either a life is required or you pay a certain amount of money to the family. They can accept that. You feel me? They don't have to get exact retribution back. So that's money. The money is off the rip. We shouldn't even have to fight for that. That should be given because y'all already know y'all killed somebody unlawfully. So that money, that's something that's given off the rip. You can't get a life back. You feel me? Now, justice should be served, period, because that's what y'all are. Y'all are ministers of justice, right?
Exactly.
So that just lets you know that the system ain't what they say it is. They not fighting for justice, equality, all that, because they ain't. And when it comes to their own, the people who they put their little shield on or whatever, I guess that shield that these officers wear is a shield from the law. I mean, that it put them in a position where they feel like they outside of the law. They bigger than the law, man.
Yeah.
And it ain't cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, indeed. Hey, so I'm gonna put this on y'all head because I remember I shared something earlier this week, and it's something that y'all really have to think about, man. I ain't gonna have time to pull it up right now, but if y'all just look at that, that's a picture of Emmett Till and Breonna Taylor. So Emmett Till was killed September 23rd, 1955. He was murdered September 23rd, 1955, and all the people in his lynch mob that pulled him out of his house, they were acquitted, right? So September 23rd, 2020, Breonna Taylor was also murdered. All her people were acquitted as well.
2019,
I mean,
bro. I
well,
think
yeah.
18.
Still. So y'all got to do the math on that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time in between that the same thing has been going on. And then Emmett Till's the lady that he supposedly whistled at came out and said that he didn't do it and she just lied, but she's still free in her old age.
That's crazy.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, I get flustered when talking about that because it's like, what's the solution, right? And I don't know if I don't know if we discussed this before, God, but what I said when I was a CEO and everybody looked at me like I was crazy, but I ain't gonna get into that.
Yeah,
it's just something has to be done, and at this point, you can't expect people to keep being quiet, and you can't expect people to keep walking free. I'm gonna say that. And
I think the first thing that we as a people need to do, if you really want to make a difference, we got to find out who are the policy makers. We need to identify who has the power to change policy and protocol, man. That's the only thing. We have to have them held to standards. We have to make their policies, make them be accountable for certain things because they got protocols. You know what I'm saying? So they should be less on, man. Like they need to demilitarize these folks a little bit because they're a little too aggressive. When you go to them other countries and shit, New Zealand and all them, they police is not like our police. You know what I'm saying? Enforcement. Because me, I'm a felon. I've been to the penitentiary and all of that. I done been in situations where the police came into my residence. You feel me? And I understand how they coming. They coming with full pressure. Anything that looks out of line, they gonna kill. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a mistake. Just like the old lady in right here in Atlanta, not too long ago. They had a little ride quick. It was quick and it was over with. But they killed the old lady. They went in the house on the east side. You know what I'm saying? She shot at him. Old lady, she was like 60-something years old. She shot at him. They killed her. But y'all in the wrong house, though. No, not one.
Exactly. And then on top of this, I'm going to say this, man. In cities like Atlanta and bigger cities like that, it is known for people to just come in your house and take some shit. Like, so the first thing, so the first thing anybody says, hey, boy, make sure you got yada. Hey, don't go over him. You know what I'm saying? When I come to the city, hey, I'm finna come over that way. All right, boy, you gotta be careful over there. Who you know over there? You don't know nobody over there. Don't go over there. It's the same thing in Miami. So like, come on, man. Like, for real.
You got to stay dangerous, man. You got to stay dangerous out here, man.
Yeah, for real.
That's real because the world ain't playing with you. You know what I'm saying? Nigga running in your house, boy. You feel me?
Yeah.
People will run in your house. You know what I'm saying? So, and people getting kidnapped, people getting killed, man. People have the right to protect their home. You have no right to come in there. I don't know what you're doing. Boom, you masked man running in my house with a weapon. What am I going to do?
And think about this, too. When they do kick in the door when they SWAT team, CERT team, whatever you want to call them, they in all black with small letters across their chest. You know what I'm saying? We don't think that. All we see is, these boys masked up with a vest.
Yeah. Or you hear your door crash in, boom, you in your bed, sleep, you wake up. You grab your firearm. You see a man with a gun, you shoot at him. Boom, whoa, this the police. You didn't know that, though. Because they had a no knock. You know what I'm saying? But they at the wrong house.
But then, too, even if you see them come in the house, you're not going to see police or anything because that stuff is not reflective. You ain't going to see it. Ain't no lights on. It's nighttime, fam. You're not going to see that. You going to shoot. So y'all
I'm telling
can't,
you, man.
that bull crap that Charles Barkley was saying, man, yo stupid. Ooh, boy.
I ain't even see what he said. What he said?
Bruh. Well, we have to consider that he did shoot at the police, so it was
Hold
justified
up.
for them to shoot
Hold up.
back with
What about the
whatever.
ballistics though? You know what I'm saying? You
Man,
ain't shoot no police
but
back.
it's a thing.
One shot?
Yeah, and
Come on,
it's a
bro.
thing I want to tell people too, right? So even if we take that one shot into consideration, if you shoot through a wall, unless you got a higher caliber gun, it's not going to penetrate through that wall straight through. It's going to slow down and it might turn. It's not going to go straight
Right.
through. It's not going to be a through and through
Right.
shot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For one. But we also have to start paying attention to the narrative of these media. And this is one of the reasons why we created this, man. Y'all can't believe everything that they say. It's going to be twisted in some way, shape, form, or fashion for their
Definitely.
side to look hands, you know, their hands clean, right?
Innocent.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like, even with us, that's why I tell y'all, man, fact check. Anytime I talk to somebody and we talking about building on religion, politics, money, whatever, fact check me, bro. Go back
Right.
and see what it is, because if I'm wrong, come correct me. I want to be corrected.
Right.
I don't want to keep giving out wrong information. So
Exactly.
we have to start fact checking these news channels because they're owned by the same company. And I'm going to keep
Exactly.
telling y'all that they're owned by the same people. Fox and
They definitely
CNN,
control that. They control
all them
the
are owned
media,
by the
all
same
propaganda.
people.
Yeah.
Why you think every time you turn on the news channel, they have the exact same storyline when they say something? Just think
Right.
about that, for instance. You know what I'm saying? They say it the exact same way.
Yeah, they want to control they gonna definitely control the opinions of the people, man. It's like I read some shit about Hitler, right? And Hitler, one of the profound things he said, if I can control the books, I can control my people.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the books right now, back then was like the media. It's like the propaganda, what's putting out there. So if I can control these media outlets, I can control the way you thinking, the masses of the people thinking, because everybody ain't thinking outside the box. You know what I'm saying? That's like the 5%. You know what I'm saying? It's 5% that's actually conscious. So, you know, it's real easy for them to control and sway the people. So they definitely gonna control the narrative, man, when they issuing it out there, especially when it's make a big splash, like when they wrong, because the police gonna cover their police. They're gonna have each other back to the farthest extent that they can. Just like we gonna have our back. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's just like, so, you know, it's just crazy, man. Just the way everything, it's a system that they have in place, bro, and they're gonna keep it intact. You feel me? And we are the oppressed ones. We under their foot. They're gonna keep it that way. They want to keep it that way. You know what I'm saying? We could rise up, but they're gonna push down on us as much as they can, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we just gotta start sticking together, man. Like at the end of the day, we can keep saying this till we blue in the face, but until y'all get it, man, you gotta start sticking together. Because it's some
Definitely.
people like the AG, is that what they call him? Attorney
AG?
General? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Black guy. You had the power to change the case, fam. You had the entire power to change the outcome of this case. Whether they even if they didn't get charged for murder, you could have brought them up on some other charges. You could have finessed that pen, bro.
But see, them folks judgment on things, man, go back to politics, bro. He made a political decision not to. Saying so, you know, a lot of times justice don't even play a part. Them folks think of politics. Like you say, it's election year. You know what I'm saying? So he got to, as Attorney General, he trying to move on up. So if he made the wrong decision in this Breonna Taylor case, you know what I mean?
Okay.
He gonna lose a lot of motherfucking political sway with people. Cause they gonna be like, oh no, we ain't rocking with you because you went this way.
But okay,
so a lot of them not willing to go. They not willing to make that sacrifice for their people. They not.
Indeed, and that's something else I want to say, and I want both of y'all to chime in on this. If we as black people, whether you come from a impoverished community or an influenced community where you got a little bread, we are on the same level. So we don't go by the same moral code and principles though either, because we know once you cross the track, it's a different moral code, right?
Definitely.
So how do we get our people on code, or people that's gonna rock with us? How do we get everybody on code to say, hey, this how we gonna rock? You know what I mean? We already have social media, but you know social media can be dampened down with a lot of things.
Right.
So
right.
They pretty much can control how many viewers you get and how many people actually see your post. They have the power to do that. So if you're talking about something wrong, they can shrink it down or they can blow it up.
Right.
But so how do we go about getting on the same code? I'm gonna start with Smurf on this one.
Man, I think, to be honest with you, I'm gonna kind of recant that last statement you said. You know what I'm saying? You know, us as black people, the impoverished ones and the ones that you said, you know, had a little money or middle class on the same level. I'm gonna keep it G. It's getting to the point now where we all can't look at it like we all on the same level, because clearly, when it comes to the political spectrum, like our brother said, he looked at it as a political move not to speak out against these cops, not to go against what they had going on, to protect them. So he was protecting his position.
Indeed.
So looking at it at that point, that lets me know clear as day, all skin folk ain't your kin folk.
Indeed, but at what point do you make the moral judgment though? You know what I'm saying? Like at what point do you just say morally this shit is wrong? Like there's no other way to say it. You know what I'm saying? Morally that shit was wrong.
The thing is, bro, these people know what they doing.
Wrong, right is right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They know what they doing.
They know exactly what they doing.
Yeah, they ain't.
And we know what they doing.
Yeah, you feel me? They just codified with the system at hand in order to benefit themselves, so they don't get too ousted, because they feel like us as black people or never come together to empower ourselves in order to be able to go against these political views and go against this injustice system that a lot of these cops are feeling empowered by.
True.
Until we get to the point where we separate ourselves and we know who's really for the people and who's not, we ain't gonna never get nowhere. We got to get to a point to where, okay, we know these people over here are with the agenda and their actions prove that they're with the agenda. Sometimes we get too caught up in a person dialogue.
But what's the key word you just said, Smurf? Agenda.
Yeah,
action.
You said it with the agenda. So what is the agenda? See, that's what we got to come up, you know, in order for us to unite as a people, we have to have a platform that we all standing on. We got to have a contract that everybody done signed on, see? And that's what we have to do. And it's going to be a grassroots movement. You can't jump into a structure that they have and think you're going to dominate it or take it back. You got to build your own shit. You feel me? Because they, like your brother said, they can lock you out of Facebook. They can lock you out of IG. You know what I'm saying? They can lock you out of Twitter. All these, they control the mass media outlets. So where are our media outlets? You feel me? I remember one of the Stand Dangerous, one of the podcasts a while back. We was talking about something, and I was like, man, we need our own satellite. I don't know if y'all understood what I was saying. This is how they got these direct TV, these internet, these phones, all this stuff is bouncing off of these satellites up in the sky. These billionaires, they invest in these things to send these things out there, orbit the Earth to where they can control, you know, they have certain access to be able to do certain network, media networking. Yeah. So we have millionaires, we have power. So let us build our own network. Look at Oprah and all of them. She got her own little TV thing, but she's still going through
But see, Oprah didn't even put up the money to get her own network. Somebody else did that.
You know what I'm saying?
But she's still controlled by other people though. Like that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like we gonna have to figure out like a way we don't have to bow down to nobody. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, we got to get our own satellites. We got to get our own this. We got to get our own that. And no matter how hard,
separation.
Most definitely the money.
Separation and education, because we first got to educate our people so we could be on the same level. If we don't have solidarity or purpose, bro, we'll never make it to the goal, because everybody got different intentions on why they involved. You feel me? This is like going out to march. Some people out here really out here to make a statement. You know what I'm saying? Some people out here just waiting for it to pop out so they can loot some shit. You feel me? We don't have solidarity or purpose. So everybody has to come together and, you know, and come up with what we doing this for. And everybody, if you get caught acting outside of that, then you need to be removed. You feel me? Because you're a liability.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We just got to be strong. Look at how the brothers raised up. Look how the Panthers came up. Look at how the Nation of Islam, they rose. They separated themselves and came up with their own programs, their own educational systems. They had their own schools. You know what I'm saying? So they're indoctrinating the people with what we wanted to tell them. They controlling us right now because they control our music. They control the movies, all of that. So they controlling what you intake. You feel me? So if you're not getting fed the true knowledge, then get what? You getting the propaganda that they want you.
I see it's a lot of people that don't even want to know the true knowledge, and we know that from building and talking around the people that we talk around on a daily basis. Like on in any circle, it's a lot of people that, man, you crazy. Why you believing that? Man, that's weird, man. It ain't that much going on. What? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like nowadays it's blatant because not only do we have social media, bro, but you can see it everywhere. Look at we had 2 people in the chat that experienced some of the same things or seen the same things. And that's a small circle, bro. That's a small circle. How?
So the percentage, is real high.
Yeah, so you done seen it. Either you done seen it, you done been a part of it, on the wrong side of it, in it, whether you was an officer or not. You've all came in contact with something that ain't right with the system. But that's how we know. And that ain't even, and to be honest, that ain't even color based, because it didn't happen to white folks, it didn't happen to Chinese folks.
Right.
But
see, that's one thing I feel like. I'm gonna interject on here. I feel like we got to get past the color thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's one thing to be pro-black, but don't be anti-nobody. Be anti-wrong. Be anti-oppression. You feel me? Because I don't hate nobody. You know what I'm saying? But with me, one of the principles that I hold firmly to, bro, and I think that is very valuable for people to understand this, is that it's only 2 sides, bro. Period. You feel me? You either right or you wrong. You on the side of the oppressed or you the oppressor. It's like, what side are you on, man? Are you for truth or you for righteousness? You over here or you over there? Because the sign is written like day and night. You feel me? We got day and night. That's it. So, you know, get past the color thing, man. We're going to stand firm together. It's a difference. We can be together, but not mixing. You feel me? You ever seen an army come together and you have different regiments of people? Like when they have alliance of certain packs with this nation. So if we go to war with this people, you send a fleet to help us. But y'all up under y'all flag, y'all told y'all standard, but y'all not blending, mixing with us, but y'all here supporting what we doing. And that's what we got to get past. We can't put no color barriers on this shit because it's gonna take everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take everybody, a collective effort. Y'all know what's right and wrong. So, and they know what they doing is wrong, so we can stop begging for this shit when y'all gonna really put your foot down and take it, or get out, or make your own way, because you begging for something that they not gonna give you, man. Because they for real, stop begging, bro. I think what Malcolm X was talking about. This what the Panthers then was on. Fred Hampton. Get what they did to all of these brothers. Killed them. Bobby Seale, they locked up. Geronimo Pratt, all these boys. Mubi Abu. These boys are political prisoners. Look at Jamil Alameen. You feel me? We control, like the brothers in the West End. They control the community. The police did not need to come out there. We don't need you because y'all are public servant. We don't need y'all unless y'all call here, so we don't need y'all riding through here harassing.
Hey, and why y'all even playing? Even if you look at what Rollo had going on.
Right, bro. That's what I'm talking about. That's over there. That's the community. That is the community that was established by H. Rat Brown. You know what I'm saying? Jamil Alameen. That's over there, all that area right there. Yeah, that's them boys. You know, he came up under them.
Hey, them boy had a situation where they had people living in apartments and everything over there, fam. They just had it and they didn't like it, man.
I lived over there. You know what I'm saying? I had the pleasure of witnessing this thing firsthand. How them brothers control their community. Listen, man, that's how. Now that is the blueprint to controlling a community and getting respect from police. Because the police come out there, look, go leave. We don't need you out here. The police don't even come through there unless they call, bro. Because them brothers are governing their community. They're policing their own community. You feel me? Police done got out of hand. But I feel like the thing that will cure a lot of the ailments in the hood when it comes to like police brutality and these altercations with the police is that I think that the people from your own community should be the police. Those are the ones who should get the jobs to work that area. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a better more relations. You know what I'm saying? You will be able to resolve matters easier. You know
I'm gonna put this out in the air, man. I had a conversation when I think when Trayvon Martin died, I had a conversation with my stepdad about it. About starting our own private police force, right? And I think that's what it's gonna have to come down to, because if we can't charge you because you working for the state, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody told me earlier day, what would it look like state versus state on a court docket? You know what I mean? So even if they fired an officer, he was still working with the state at the time. So what it looked like, the state, you know what I'm saying, battling against each other in the courtroom. You don't battle your teammate in the courtroom. Like, that don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And so we gonna get up out of here, man. But I'm gonna say this: it has to be some way where they can be held accountable. And the way that I seen it a long time ago, and I'm putting it out in the air. Hopefully somebody can grab it and keep. Oh, we're gonna talk about that Blade, voting scams in the local elections. What I'm saying is why we have to figure out a way to injunct a private situation when it comes to policing, because they did it with CCA. So you have the state and then you have CCA that's a private. Even though they operate under the state, they still look at CCA like a different entity. That's why they're going through and trying to shut them down. So if y'all can do that with holding inmates, why can't we do that with police officers? Why can't we do that? You know what I'm saying?
You actually can. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. This is the actual essence of gangs.
Indeed.
Chris, all that is started from policing our own community. So you can do it. You can do that. That's easy. You just need the funding. You feel me? And the people that's willing to
step out
there. Part of it. Just step out there.
So we gonna end it right there. And if y'all don't know what CRIP means, it's community resistance and progress. Do your research. And blood is brotherly love over oppression daily. Do your research. Check your facts. They was formed for situations like this, to be honest. Exactly. That's what it was for. That's in the bylaws. You know what I'm saying?
That's the solution. So they need to tighten up.
I think we all do though. Like, we all have to start checking ourselves. We got to check ourselves. You know, back in the day, you couldn't ride down the road, especially down here where I'm at. You couldn't ride down the road and do something crazy on Washington Street and your mama not hear about it on Lively Street. You know what I'm saying? They was checking us. You ain't, all that ain't finna go on over here like that. So we, as adults, we have to do the same thing as well. And it's not snitching. It's about keeping people safe. Because even if we have beef amongst ourselves, we can stop the murder before it happened if we get involved and start talking to people and come up with what they call a Switzerland, and don't nothing go on in this place, sit down and talk. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
that's it.
we have to become diplomatic in our own rights. We have to, in our own circle. So that's something we have to do. We got to check ourselves. But at the end of the day, man, I hope y'all was informed. I hope this put some thoughts in y'all head to start pushing for something else, start looking for something else. And we have to start understanding the language of the law, because that's what they're killing us at every time. You know what I mean? Understand the language of the law. But with that being said, man, it's another Stay Dangerous podcast. We up out of here, man. Make sure y'all stay safe out there. Stay dangerous. Be on point
bless y'all
with everything. Man. Bless up, King.
Glad you came through, brother. I always been respect that knowledge, man. Respect that.
I already know. I'm with y'all. I respect y'all, boy, man. See y'all later.
All right, peace, God.
Peace.
Yeah, cuz I got to holler at you though, man.
Dangerous.
Hold up.
Man, this world made me dangerous. All I know is stay dangerous. Yeah, niggas know I'm dangerous.
And make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, and share. We out of here.